Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome, dear viewers, to today's live on Iqraa TV with a special guest from the UNHCR. First of all, Iqraa channels mourn with profound sorrow the death of our founder, Sheikh Saleh Abdullah Kamil, who passed away this week in Jeddah. We belong to Allah, and to Him we shall return. May Allah abundantly reward his philanthropy and numerous good deeds on the Day of Judgment. Amen. So today we are hosting Mr. Shadi Grawi. Mr. Shadi is the Islamic Philanthropy Officer at the UNHCR. Hello, Mr. Shadi, how are you?
Very good, thank you. And thank you for actually having me with you here today.
We're so glad to have you for sure. So, Mr. Shadi, we're going to start talking about Zakat. A simple question. What is Zakat?
Thank you. Zakat is an obligatory charity that that basically a Muslim has to pay each year. Only a Muslim who meets a certain threshold of wealth that we do actually call the nisab has to pay it, and it has to go to a specific category to people in need. And the percentage of this, let's say, donation that has to be given each year stands at approximately 2.5% of one's wealth. And zakat can also be given through an agent that the donor actually trusts that this agent will deliver zakat to the people who actually need it.
Okay, thank you. So, who can benefit from this zakat fund?
Thank you. So, the Quran has actually specified eight categories that zakat has to go to, and today actually I would like to focus on specifically the categories that we know that the most vulnerable displaced people worldwide meet. And here actually we are. I just want to also explain that we are talking about a global displaced population of approximately 70 million people. We are talking about approximately 26 million refugees. So those are people who fled, let's say, the border because of war. And then also the rest are what we call internally displaced persons, and those are people who actually also fled war, but they have stayed within let's say the borders of the country that they do actually live in. So going back to who deserves zakat, most of today's 70 million displaced people do actually fall under 4 or 5 zakat categories. They are the poor, the needy, or also the people in need, debtors, or actually people in debt, and also what we call stranded travelers. So people who actually got stuck in their fleeing, let's say, journey.
Yeah. Okay, so what's the UNHCR doing for refugees in the light of the global COVID-19 outbreak?
Thank you actually very much for asking about this question. And refugees have actually been living an emergency before let's say this whole COVID-19 outbreak. And when the outbreak actually happens, so now refugees are living an emergency on top of, let's say, another one. Um, that to say, refugees have been through a lot of tough times. Actually, maybe even times that are even more, let's say, tough than what the world is actually going through right now. So we have a very important responsibility today towards them, and this is why we have actually geared up our um, um, our uh, our preparedness and also response plan that aims at making sure that refugees are included in the national, let's say, response systems. So making sure that they are not, let's say, left behind. That's one. And two, we are also making sure that refugees have access to emergency cash assistance, and this cash is really key, especially that number one, a lot of them are not allowed to work anyway. Number two is that even those who might have had access to some form of a daily wage job, they have actually they have actually lost it now. So cash is really important to allow the most vulnerable families to survive each day and to be able to actually cover basic needs such as food and also rent.
So what about Ramadan? Ramadan is a very, very special month. It's a blessed month. People do extra efforts on it, extra prayers, extra sadaqah, and they need to pay zakat for sure before Eid. So what's your special activities?
Absolutely, thank you. So uh, actually, on the first day of this holy month, we launched our global Ramadan campaign that highlights the situation of the most vulnerable displaced families, and it urges us to remember and to imagine what an act of doing good can do in the lives of these families. Making sure that we are actually remembering that refugees worldwide are really in dire need. The hashtag that we are using for the campaign is 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 every gift counts. And here, actually, I would like to talk about a specific story that is very dear to me, and this is the story of a Syrian mother who fled a few years back from Syria to Lebanon. Nadine is actually a mother of four who has lost her partner, and and has seen herself alone in the middle of, let's say, a country that she actually does not know. And this is the importance of the role of UNHCR in actually identifying those families that have absolutely no one else to basically let's say rely on. So these families heavily and only rely on us, and it's our responsibility to make sure that they have access to whatever it takes to basically cover their basic needs, and this includes a program that distributes monthly cash assistance to let's say thousands of family like the family of Nadine. And here I would just like to also talk about the refugee uh, 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 Zakat Fund. The Refugee Zakat Fund was launched last year by UNHCR. It's a trusted, compliant, and effective distributor harnessing the power of Zakat to transform the lives of the most vulnerable families, such as the family of
Nadia.
Nadine. Um, Last year, actually, alone, we've managed to support with Zakat more than 1 million people in 8 different locations. So we are talking about Lebanon, Jordan, Iraq, Egypt, Yemen, Mauritania, Malaysia, and also Bangladesh. Very quick point is that we have 5 fatwas that form the basis of how we distribute Zakat funding. And one very important policy that we follow is what we call the 100% zakat distribution policy. So every zakat penny that is given to UNHCR through the Refugee Zakat Fund goes in full to the families in need.
MashaAllah. I watched some of your videos and I quote from your Ramadan campaign. Imagine what your zakat can do for refugees. And for sure, it's a great thing. Thank you so much. So, in the end, I'm gonna ask how to make the donations and how it's secure and safe for people to trust this website while making the donation.
Absolutely. The link for our global Ramadan campaign is giving.unhcr.org/Ramadan. So I'm going to actually say this again, giving.unhcr.org Ramadan. This is a safe and a secure website that people can make donations through it in full let's say confidence. And I also want to say that people who are interested to give zakat can either go to that page and click on the zakat icon in it, or they can go to our refugee zakat fund dedicated page, which is zakat.unhcr.org. So much.
Thank you so much. So, dear viewers, please stay home, stay safe, watch Iqra TV, and do your zakat. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.